My dad walked me to school every single morning, rain or shine, snow or sweat. He was there, his worn-out sneakers crunching beside me on the pavement. We'd take the same cracked sidewalk, pass the same coffee shop, and always stop at the same corner before the crossing guard. I used to be embarrassed by how early we'd arrive. He'd place his hand on my backpack, say, "All right, go on now," until I stepped inside the school gate and watched me disappear into the sea of children. It was just routine. Dad didn't work mornings. Maybe he liked the walk. I never questioned it. But as I got older, I started to notice things, like how he would ask me to read letters out loud for him, or how he'd smile and nod at school forms, pretending he understood. I assumed he just wasn't good with paperwork. I never imagined the truth. I remembered once, in 5th grade, I had cried about a bad test. Dad held me and said, "Sweetheart, every step you take, I'm right behind you." I never realized how true that was. He couldn't teach me math, but he walked me to school in the snow. He couldn't help with essays, but he packed my lunch. He didn't know how to read, but he made sure I had every book I ever wanted. Years later, when I got my diploma, he stood in the back row of the audience, clapping with both hands, eyes red. I looked at him and smiled. It wasn't until I was 27, cleaning out his dresser after he passed, that I found the old envelope. It had my name on it. Inside was a letter, written in shaky, careful print. The words were full of spelling mistakes and awkward phrasing, but I could tell how much effort it took. He wrote, "I don't know how to say this in words, but I hope I gave you what I didn't have. I dropped out at 14. Couldn't read well, never told anyone, but I walked you to school every day, so you'd never feel that lost, so you'd keep walking, even when I couldn't." I sat there, crying quietly, as I realized something I'd never known growing up. He used to leave for work an hour early, just to walk me, then catch the bus across town for his shift at the warehouse, then back again to walk me home. He didn't complain when his knees started giving out. He never told me how embarrassed he felt when other parents tried to make small talk, and he couldn't keep up. He just kept walking me, because that's how he could move me forward, even if he stayed behind. I used to wonder why he didn't try to finish his education, why he never read me bedtime stories or signed school forms himself. But now I understand. He gave everything he could, in the way he could, so I could go further, so I could read the world, and I did, because he stood still behind me, so I could run ahead. And now, years later, I find myself walking my own daughter to school. Same road, same rhythm, but I see it differently now. I see how he noticed the cracks in the sidewalk, so I wouldn't trip. How he placed himself between me and the street without making it obvious. How his silence wasn't emptiness, it was protection, reverence, love too deep for words. I used to think love was shown in loud moments, balloons, trophies, grand gestures, but I was wrong. Sometimes, love walks beside you quietly, in shoes with holes, with pockets empty, with a heart that never stops hoping for your next step. My father couldn't read books, but he wrote a life I'll never forget, one slow step at a time, right beside me, until I learned to walk on my own. And even now, I still feel it, like a shadow behind me, steady and kind. He never went to school, but he gave me everything I needed to learn.